Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you see this live. We are here. Hello, April. Hi, everyone, and welcome into the DEEtails. Hi, ladies. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Everybody looks so pretty this morning. Pretty. So we gotta call this what? Pretty in pink?
I like
Okay,
it.
yes.
That's like
Yes.
for Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Good morning. I have a wonderful topic today. Everybody come on in. Let's get this thing started. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me just do a mic check and make sure that you guys can hear me. Good. All right. Good morning. I have a wonderful. Oh, yes. Okay, guys, come on in. I am DeAndrea Washington, and I am your host today for DEEtails. We're getting into the details with D. And today we have an awesome topic. And we're going to tie that in with self-care. We're going to talk about the reasons people struggle with their health and fitness goals. There are several reasons, but I'm going to just narrow them down to my top 5 from the years of experience that I've had in the health and fitness industry. I will pull out about 5.
Yes.
I might add a 6th.
Okay.
But the top 5, I think, people struggle. And I've always heard, hey, D, the struggle is real.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Right.
Every day.
For a lot of people, and I want to, I always want to bring the joy, into, working out, working your body, eating healthy, the majority of the time. Of course, we have our treats here and there, but just, not, being so uptight about, taking in the proper foods, excuse me, setting your schedule to, work out, and just finding that joy in it and not always looking at it as being that it's called a workout, but not always looking at it as work. Can we say it like that?
Yes.
Of course, that's, that's the first word, work. But, we want to just find that joy in it. And that's what I want to embrace and bring to everybody, the joy in taking care of you, right? Because if we take care of ourselves, then we're able to, look out for and take care of others. And hi, everybody that's watching. Hey, come on in. This is a great topic. I have one more of my amazing divas. She's on her way. She has to make a grand entrance. So before we get started, just let my ladies say hello to you, introduce themselves, right quick, and then we'll get into the details.
Good morning. They call me Dr. G in this space, Criselda, Dr. G, and it's good to be back. I haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Glad to have you back.
Thank
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good morning. I am Kirsten, and I am very happy to be here too. I had to miss one. It's been a rough year for me.
Well, you know what? Guess what?
Guess what?
You are beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't look like what you've been through, right?
You don't look like you're struggling to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Holding it together.
It is called life, and we go through things.
Yep.
But we have what when we talked about a couple of months ago, good relationships.
Yes.
Yep.
With people that kind of help you get through those times. Yes. And that's the highlight of it all, having somebody there for you to get through those times. As none of us are exempt, from going through.
That's right.
Right. And it's great that we're able to. It's a new, beautiful day, and we're able to see those new, beautiful days. And we have to take the positives out of that.
I agree.
Right. Because every day is not going to be, we know, peaches and cream, right? But every day is a new day, you know, to experience new things and beautiful things. And when we go through those hard times, I always say that, you know, it makes me stronger, right? And it brings forth growth, just like springtime.
Isn't that the
Yes,
truth?
it is, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
That's right.
Okay, guys. Well, we introduced ourselves, and we're going to get into the topic. What I notice a lot in the fitness arena, give me that bottle right there. I'm going to say this right there. So what I noticed in my years of fitness, health and fitness, is people go through struggles, and they come in to me with a goal in mind. And, you know, I always say, you know, a lot of times just because you hire a fitness coach, you know, I would say this, the results are not like guaranteed, but you get guidance, right? And that guidance that you get, take it, right? Take it and apply it and move forward, correct? And because if you take it and you don't apply it, you know, you're not going to reach your fitness goals. Am I right? We're not going to reach those goals if we don't apply, you know. So we must apply, right? We can't just, you know, just hire a coach and then think, boom, I'm gonna be right?
Yes, yes.
So, and it is up to the coach to be a great coach, right? So I you know, I'm very serious about, you know, what I do. So it's up to the coach to be a great coach, to give proper knowledge, so that client can reach their goals, of course, correct? And so I wanted to hit on the I think, but I'm gonna just give you, it's more reasons, but I'm gonna just give you the top 5 reasons why people struggle, okay, with their health and fitness goals. Before I give you that, you guys gotta share. Come on in, I need you to throw up those hearts for me, click your like button, share this with your friends, because I do feel like this is gonna help somebody. Go ahead and click that share button, and we're gonna get started. I really want to reach some people today, so go ahead and hit that share button. I'm gonna share too as well, and we're gonna reach out to some people. All right, guys. All right, so let's get into it. And I'm gonna work all the way down to the number 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Countdown is starting.
I know, countdown.
All right,
Y'all ready?
Ready.
What number is it?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Happy spring, God. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Day.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful outside. Okay, so number 5, and I wanted to make sure I got this one right. People are impatient. Ooh.
Oof.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Ooh. Now, let me tell y'all something. I think we can all kind of, you know, look, I'm not exempt from this one because I've been doing this for a long time, over half my life. So there has been some impatience. So people can be impatient. They want it. It's a lifetime where it's quick, fast, and in a hurry. So it's like as soon as you start your fitness journey, if you don't see anything within the first week or so, it's like, you know, what am I doing this for? 2 weeks go by, well, I'm still not doing this, and then they just say, so I might as well just eat this because this is not working, you know. So instead of just seeing it through, they don't stick to it because it's not happening fast enough, you know, because it takes time. Depending on where you are in your journey, you know, or where you are, it takes time, and you have to apply different principles for you. Everybody is different, correct? And some people can, start something and boom, they straight there, like in there. They are focused and they're going to make it happen. But then you have, some people, they might not. It might take them a little bit longer to finally just get it together, especially with the nutrition, of course. The nutrition is sometimes the toughest part, because a lot of people are just raised to eat a certain way, and they've been eating that same way for years. So if they started out, as a child eating that way, and now they're 30, and now all of a sudden they gotta change everything, and so that can be a challenge as well. And so when they do finally start eating differently, and they don't really see per se things happening like they want to see it within the first few weeks or a month, they get impatient, right? And then when they get impatient, it's like, oh, I'm doing all this work and I don't see anything. And as a coach, this is what I tell any client that comes in, take your time with this, enjoy the journey. Because and don't just look at one set of numbers. Don't just look at the scale. There's different things. Inch loss. See how your clothes fitting. Just pay attention to how you're feeling. You'll start feeling better. So those things right there will kind of take away the impatience just a little bit, right? Number 4. I should have put this at the top, but I got the, a good one for the top. Lack of knowledge. Number 4, lack of knowledge. This is why people struggle, okay? Because we listen to so many different things. It's so many different things. It's so much information out there, and it's not guided toward just you, right? Because every individual, and I say this all the time, right? Everybody is different. We're all different, correct? And, so you got to get the proper knowledge for you and what your goals are, because everybody's goals are different, correct? So I might be coming in as a person who has, trained for years. And it's just a little bit, I might have, I might want to now develop muscle. Like, why haven't I started seeing my muscle? I've been training for years. Have someone come to me and say, Dee, I've been training. Hi, Beverly. I try to get everybody as you come in. So I got my other device over here. Hi, everybody. Zilla Comedy, is that it? Good morning, you guys. As you come in, go ahead and throw those hearts up for me. Thank you so much. And comment, say hello to me. Say hello to my beautiful guest today.
Good morning.
And so, and then we try, I would say this, as far as the knowledge thing, it's like you take in so much, and you start doing so many different things. And so it's almost like you're doing so many different things, and you get frustrated because it's not working for you. And so when I say a lack of knowledge, I'll give you an example of the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge is somebody going into, say, Dee, hey, I need to lose some weight, or just say, I need to lose some weight, so I'm going to go on this diet. Well, what diet? And why are you going on a diet? And because I would say this, that's lack of knowledge. Well, I know that because I've been there and done that years ago. I felt like, if I eat, a little bit here, just eat less, maybe eat once a day, or just eat fruit, or just do a juice, clean, something like that. Just that for a month or two, or for a particular date or something like that, that's gonna set me up for failure later on. But see, a lot of people might not know that because they lack the knowledge of just, hey, I need to start eating better. I need to make healthier choices, and I need to become active or become more active. And I need to get guidance as far as a coach to help me to get there.
Agreed.
right?
That's right.
Because if you don't, you got to get that knowledge from somebody that's knowledgeable, and that is a professional coach, you know. So you know, and that's why people go into this, what I call, they're on a hamster, what they call the
Wheel.
little
Hamster
wheel. There you go. And they go round and around and around. It's like, okay, I'm finna start this diet, I'm finna start working out, and then they go back to what they were doing, and the weight comes back, and they was like, oh, I got to get this weight off, so I'm gonna start this diet, and I'm gonna start working out. Oh, and then they're gonna do the zero carbs. Well, then when they do the zero carbs and they start dropping on weight, and they say, oh, I'm gonna do this. I've been losing weight, but it's the wrong weight. And what happens is the muscle, they start to, with all the cardio and then over cardio, that's another thing they start to do, because they want it fast, because the patience is not there. Okay, we go back, right? And so now with the lack of patience and then the lack of knowledge, we're on this cycle again. Because when you go back to what you were doing before, the diet, and you go back to eating how you were eating, then you go back to get the weight that was there before.
Just like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the weight that was there before, it came back twice.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you know, and so and this is
All right.
all this.
Raise your hand if you've been there.
Yeah. I mean,
A
you know,
long
put
time,
it
but
in
I
there.
have been there.
Yeah.
Lost
Yeah.
the same 15 pounds over and
And
over
it
again.
came right back, because
That's right.
and there's no judgment here. I'm just
Right.
calling it out to, you know, what I've seen over the years. You know, this is real, and the topic says it. The struggle is real. You know, this is real because people don't seek out the proper knowledge. You know, this is knowledge here. We, you know, I was just looking the other day. This lady, she's like, I'm on a diet, you know, and my birthday coming up. Like, no. No, because I would say this, you know, and I felt some kind of way, but I don't say anything because, you know, I don't know how people take stuff. So I just kind of just keep it to myself unless somebody asks me. So if I don't, you know, ask me, I won't tell you. And that's just how I am. I prefer somebody to come to me if they want advice, right? And that's just how I am, because I know people go through. And so, but my thing is, are you going to change your lifestyle, or are you going to go back after your birthday and start eating back what you were eating? Because if not, if you don't change your lifestyle and establish a healthy eating lifestyle, you're just going to go back to what you were before the birthday, right? And it's going to be this continuous yo-yo, up and down, correct? And so that is where the lack of knowledge comes in. So get that proper knowledge for your goals that you have in mind. You know, the goals that you set for yourself. Let's get the knowledge to get there. All right? Number three of why people struggle to reach their fitness goals, their health and fitness goals. Good morning, Diva.
Good morning. Good morning.
And thank you for rounding us out with a different color.
So we're going to pause for a minute.
Good morning, all.
Because somebody is fashionably, what they say.
Made an entry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure, ladies. You look beautiful. I love the pastels.
Thank you.
And how's the morning crowd this morning? How's everyone live?
Come on, what you got on? What I'm gonna do with it, y'all?
It's called belly dance.
Fashionably late, okay? You work out with you get to wear this kind of stuff. You always got on. You gotta love it. You gotta, and that's good too. You know, you accept people. You know,
You gotta accept them the way they are, for who they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're all different. That's what makes life exciting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh, so we're starting out with you know, reasons why I feel like people struggle with to reach their health and fitness goals. So we're on, we just hit on lack of knowledge. Okay. So number 3 is improper habits. Okay. Improper habits. And I'm going to turn this down. Sorry. When I say improper habits, I mean, they this goes back. So I'm going to go back. This goes back to the one before where they lack the knowledge of what they need to be eating to reach their goals. So whatever their goals are, they need to align their nutrition, with those goals, correct? Because everybody's goals are different now. So, so they need to align that. And so sometimes it's not aligned. And so this is why, hey Regis, how are you? That's hometown right there.
All right.
Thank you, hometown. Good morning. Go ahead, y'all, and click those likes and share buttons and throw the hearts up for me. Thank you so much. And so they don't align that. And then what we talked about a couple of months ago with people having a relationship with food, this is where the disorders come in at. When I say improper habits, because what happens is they develop improper eating habits, trying to reach those goals.
Right.
Okay. And I hear this a lot, and I know that when we're trying to reach goals, of course, we have to watch our calorie intake.
Yes.
We have to, make sure we don't, consume, a lot of sweets, fried stuff, and things like that. So we know like the basics, right?
Yes.
But you guys, it goes so much deeper. It's so much deeper because, people get so frustrated. And so they become to the point where they start establishing like those bad habits. They'll go all day without eating.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they'll just drink, I'm just drinking water. I'm just going to drink liquids, all day long. And then what happens is, their body, it starts to take a toll on them. The energy level goes down,
Yes.
And they wonder why their workouts are, not working well, and they get tired quickly because they're not taking in the proper nutrients to get them through the workout, right?
Right.
And so then they develop those improper habits trying to reach their goals, and it's doing more harm, than helping. And so that's another reason why they struggle with their health and fitness goals, because they start to develop those improper habits. They get on the kick of just totally deleting stuff out of the diet that needs to be there. And it's like, just make a better choice, just make a better choice. And we know that, we stick to our whole foods more so than the junk foods. That's just a better choice.
Yes.
Nobody said you had to starve yourself to reach your goals. Go back to, the getting the knowledge. Get a professional coach to help you through, especially your workouts and your eating, and get on the schedule, get on the program. So once you learn it, and you get to going, right? And if you stay ready, you don't have to keep on trying to
Getting ready.
Right.
Okay. I got like
You don't fall off the wagon. You don't have to climb back on, right?
That's right.
Easier
Absolutely.
said than done, though,
And
right?
that is why I have these beautiful ladies on my panel. Okay. All right. So the next one, which is the number 2, lack of leadership.
Huh.
Woo.
Lack of
We can just
leadership.
stop right there.
Okay.
I could do this on my own.
No.
No.
Yeah, we see what that happens.
No.
What happens?
No.
Now this is like I said, no judgment, because we listen and we don't judge. Okay, but I'm just telling you from experience. No, because everybody needs somebody.
Yes.
I have been working out actively since I was a little girl. I don't even know what age I started. I was little. Before I knew running was exercise, did my first road race in elementary school. Okay, so I have been active all of my life. Okay, so I would say that, and I'm going to fast forward to I had a coach.
Wow.
I had a trainer.
Wow.
Okay, I had a couple of them. I have had great coaches throughout my life who made me better. Okay, and I learned more and I got better. And so years ago, when I competed for 10 years. So I started competing in 2002. And my first show was 2002. My last show was 2012. I had a trainer all those years.
Wow.
And everybody used to ask me, well, Dee, why you can't train yourself? Because I need another set of eyes. I need a coach to get me to where I want it to be. It's only so much I can do by myself. I can motivate myself, push myself. I can do this. But I need another set of professional eyes.
Yes.
To help me get to where I want to be, because I wanted to be a winner. I wanted to be in the top 5. I wanted to be the best that I can be. So I needed a mentor. I needed a coach, right?
Right.
So if I would have done it by myself, then I would have probably just did okay. But I wanted to be excellent. And that's just what I wanted. I wanted to be able to reach my goals. And I wanted to be able to do it properly. I wanted to be able to take constructive criticism. I wanted to be able to learn and get that knowledge. That made me a better person. That made me a better coach as well, taking that in. So, get the leadership. It's so important, because if you don't get the leadership, you lack the knowledge. Okay, let's go back.
Absolutely.
Then you get impatient because it's not happening, because you're doing it on your own and you don't have all, all the knowledge that you need. And then you establish improper habits. Come on now.
Now, I'd like to just make one comment.
I'm going to let you come in.
Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
finish all of them.
Oh,
Then
okay.
I'm going to have you come in. So hold that thought.
Sure.
Hold that thought. Because we're going to get to the number one.
Yes.
And I'm going to have you come in.
Suspense is building.
Yes. So make sure. And even if you cannot, and I know coaching can be pricey, even if you can't get that, maybe get a virtual coach, or watch somebody virtually, and just start out just with with your basics, and then go from there. But I do believe everybody needs somebody at some point in their life. Not to say you got to always do it, but you need that leadership to help you to get to where you want to be, if you really and truly want to reach your health and fitness goals. Correct?
That's true kind of for everything in life, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is true for everything. And before I get to the number one, I'll let you go ahead and say what you
I was just going to say that what you were touching on as the number 2, meaning that you need someone. It's always better for someone on the outside looking in.
Yes.
Just that's very simple. That's all I wanted to say. Basic. Someone on the outside looking in is going to take you to the next level. So having a fitness coach, a fitness buddy, a trainer, whatever you want to call it, is always very good, because they can see where you need to go next. Although you know in your mind what you want to do, but the person on the outside sees
That's
even
good.
more.
Yeah. So, Dee,
That's
before
good.
you get to number 1, can I ask you a question
Yes.
related to number 2?
Yeah.
So, in terms of getting that leadership, that help for those people who really, the money is very, very tight and they really want to move forward, how do they do that, in a way that is affordable to them? Is there a way? In your opinion?
Absolutely. Of course, I would always say, because I used to teach aerobics. I taught aerobics for 15 years. So there were some people who couldn't per se afford personal training, right? So they would come to my aerobics class. That's included with a gym membership. So, and that's guidance, right? Because you have an instructor. So some instructors are awesome, like what's up? So I was an instructor to a lot of people who per se couldn't afford to, personally train with me, of course. And I was their leader. So they learned a lot in my class. And so now they had that, because I always taught. Like I never put nobody in a box, right? So I gave me to everybody, right? Of course, my personal clients got me personally, right? They got that personal instruction. But when I treated it pretty much, I treated everybody the same. So I gave that knowledge and that leadership to everybody, because when I stepped in front of that class, I was their leader. Even when I didn't, even after the class or days we didn't have class, I was still the leader, because if they had questions for me to coming in, I would, answer those questions. So of course, and I think that you get a gym membership. Gym memberships are what, maybe $40 a month, say between 40 and 50 now, and I think you can afford that. I think that you put your money into, what's important to you, and invest in you, invest in your health, because you get that back, right? Because without your health, it's harder to obtain wealth, right? To, work, you go to work, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So you want to be healthy, you want to be energetic, you want to be lively. So I think that's, a great question. That's affordable. Get go to some type of class, a group class. You can do group classes, group boot camps, any type of group fitness, because group fitness is a little less than your personal. Right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else before I move? Because I want number one to be. I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna preach just a little. I'm right on time.
We are waiting.
We're ready.
Suspense.
Now, can we get some more people in before I
All right, come on live. Come on, likes, shares.
You need to drum roll.
Get your shares and like it so we can get the hearts flowing.
So I need to dance so people can come
okay,
in
drum. Here we go. What beat do you want?
Share with your friends.
Yes. Number one, and I know everybody know this. The number one. Inconsistency.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
And that's all I can say about that one. It says what it says, right? Inconsistent. And we were just saying that applies to everything we do in life.
Yes, it does.
When you're inconsistent, and with relationships, with your job, you know what I'm saying, and things don't go properly. Things don't go well when you're inconsistent. You start and then you stop, and then you start and then you stop. So one day you say, well, I'm going in hard, about to do it. And then the next week, your friend was like, well, I thought you said you was doing it. Girl, yeah, I'm going to get back in, I'm going to get back, So, like I said, no judge. We listen, we don't judge. We listen and don't judge. Because people go through this.
Yes.
If we keeping it real, right?
That's right.
People go through this. Hello, my YouTube family. Hello. So, people really go through this. And why are they inconsistent?
False hope.
Because they're impatient. They lack the knowledge. And they have started improper habits. Right? And that just goes back into everything I just put in there, my top 5 reasons. And a lot of times, they haven't established a reason. I think the main reason why people can be inconsistent is because they haven't established that and know that it's a healthy lifestyle, right? Hey, Ellen. Hey, Benjamin.
Good morning.
Hey, guys. If you could comment, I can't really see, all the comments, but go ahead and say hello, good morning. Tell us what you struggle with, as far as, what goals do you have, Even if it's just, you work out and you eat right, it's your lifestyle, that's great. That's what we want. But there are so many people who are, they have goals in mind,
Right.
Whether they want to lose weight, they want to make sure while they're losing the weight, they stay toned. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that's trying to, gain weight, they're trying to gain muscle, they're trying, so everybody has different goals, whether they want to run a marathon, whether they want to run a 10K, people are getting ready for the Peachtree coming up in July. So whatever your goal is, if you just want to just feel better, you went to the doctor, you got a not so good report, and the doctor said you need to start exercising, and so we don't want to wait to that point, because if you wait to that point, then it's going to really feel like work.
Right.
So, go ahead and start taking care of your body. Don't look at working out, exercising, eating right. Don't look at that as this is what I got to do to get ready for something. No, this is what you got to do to stay ready for life.
Yes.
Let's just put that out there. Let's do this as a lifestyle,
Yes.
And that way you have balance. That way you're not like every 4 or 5 or 6 months and say, I'm back on it. No, this is what you gotta do, And I think I think a lot of times if people stop starting. Did that sound right?
Yes. Stop starting.
Yes, over and over and over.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm starting on Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it about Monday?
I don't
And
know.
that is the hardest day to do anything.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
It's the busiest work day a lot of times.
Yes, Mondays are rough.
I'm starting Monday. Well,
Monday.
start now.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna start Monday, D. Okay, so and I get it. This is why I'm just telling y'all, just from experience of what I've gone through. What people have said to me, D, I'm gonna get started. I gotta get my mind right. Well, yeah.
Exercising gets your mind
you
right.
do have to
It
get your
does.
mind right. You do. But just telling me, D, I got to do this, you already got it right, because this is what you got to
That's
do.
right.
So look at it as that. Don't go in thinking it's going to be hard. Don't go in thinking, especially, and I have people say, girl, I'm scared to work out with you. Well, don't be, because everybody's on a different level. You might not be able to, train like I train, so this is what I do, and I've been doing this a long time, There's some things that I'm not going to do. I'm not running a marathon. I'm just not going to do it. I just had to throw that in there. But anyway, and I like to run.
I am right there with you.
I
don't see that
love to
happening.
run, but I haven't ran in a couple of years because I'm trying to get my ankle back on. But I just, that is not on my bucket list. I've done a half marathon. Whoopee. But I just had to ask myself, and I know this is all off tangent, but I had to throw this in here. After I ran that half marathon, I was like, why did I just do that? Why did I just run almost 2 hours? I'm trying to figure this out. So anyway.
You need to commit yourself to a goal, and that wasn't a goal.
So that was my goal. I did it. I ran it all the way through, and I was like, yeah. But I was like, why would I do that again? So anyway.
All right, well, one and done.
One and done. But now my goal is to get back out there and do the Peachtree. That'll be my what? I think that would be my 12th one or 13th one or something like that. So I'm trying to, get my ankle all the way ready. Okay.
Right.
But, I'm off tangent again. But yesterday I posted my reel and I was doing my jump squats. And y'all, that was my first time doing my jump squats again in almost 2 years.
Wow. That's
Congratulations.
awesome.
You are back. D is back.
I'm back.
Let me tell you, they don't look like that when I do that.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my God, I love like the hip exercises. I love the high intensity exercises. And, I was trying to, I had that ankle wrapped.
You had your brace on.
All the way up, yes. But to be able to do that again, it was such a thrill. Like, I got emotional. So, guys, it's a lot that goes behind my reels. When you see them, they look like they're just 30 seconds, 50 seconds. But I think about what I'm gonna do so I can present it properly. Okay, so anytime you see my reels, I've thought about what I'm gonna do. I want to present it properly, and I want somebody to smile, of course. And I want to bring that energy to you, and I want exercise to look fun.
Yes.
You know, I want to, out of all my years of teaching and training, I've always brought that energy, that joy. When they walk in the door, it's like, oh, what we gonna do today? What we got going today? It just, people go through stuff. So, when they walk into that room or walk into the gym, it's like, they feel that energy. And whatever was going on before, they forgot about it after a while, right? So I think that's great. But let's get consistent, okay? Let's get consistent. And I know that it's tough for a lot of people. But I always say, don't give up, right? Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Even if you fall off, get back on, and that's the thing. Just get back in there.
Yes.
Don't get discouraged. Because the scale might not move, or you might not be seeing what you want to see. Don't get discouraged. You're you, and don't look at somebody else and say, well, why they look like this? Or because a lot of people have just there are a lot of people with just great genetics too.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So
true.
be careful of
Yeah.
what you take in, because some people just have great genetics.
That's true.
And they work out on top of that, so they look fabulous,
Yes.
And some people have to really, really work.
Some have to work
at
hard.
at how they look and maintain and consistently live that lifestyle, So just keep that in mind, and don't be so hard on yourself. Just enjoy your journey, right? Get that guidance, get that leadership. So the top 5: impatience, lack of knowledge, improper habits, lack of leadership, and inconsistency was the number 1. So how do we overcome these struggles? We want to prioritize self-care, and we want to contribute self-care into our lifestyle to reach our health and fitness goals. So I'm going to pose a question to my beautiful panel here. And we know that self-care is, actively engaging in activities that promote and maintain our overall well-being. It is essential for us. Self-care is essential for us physically, and mentally, emotionally. We need those. The benefits of self-care, of course, is we reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, anything like that. It improves our sleep, our quality of sleep, correct? When we take care of ourselves, our energy levels are increased, of course, and enhances our immune function, so that we don't get sick a lot, right? And I think that's important as well. Self-care encourages you to maintain a healthy relationship with yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay? So that you can transmit those good feelings to others.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So I just took that self-care, I took selfishness out of self-care,
Yes.
right? And so you take care of you and be in that great mood, so that you can transfer that energy to somebody else, right? That's so important. So I pose this question to my beautiful ladies. What do you do for self-care? And why is that important to you?
You want me to get started on that?
I'm
gonna go
Kirsten, you're first.
So I was a single mom for 12 years, and trying to carve out space to do all the things that I thought I needed to do and wanted to do for my self-care was really, really hard. So I had to have a chat with myself during those days. I said, you know what? Happy mommy, happy baby. And if I don't do this, he's not going to benefit either.
Wow.
And so I really, truly, right, it was one of those wake-up moments. And so I started, it's sort of this combination of heart, body, mind, soul, a little bit of everything, right? Carved out time to get a facial every once in a while. I carved out time to do some exercise. I did them at home because I had a little one, right, who was going to take care of him. But I did it at home. I was not consistent. I was committed, but not consistent. And that was the thing that was lacking at the time. But it got me through until he got older, and I could carve out more time, and he could be on his own, right? And now, fast forward 20 some years later, now it's what's got to change today so that I can still feel good, especially when life throws you tooth infections and bronchitis, and like, what do you do with that, right? How do you get through? And I love that I can come back to you and we do recovery workouts. And all of a sudden your body is like, oh yeah, I remember this, right? And so now I can get back into the swing of things. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but we are right here.
That's right.
That's
Nice.
right.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I will. So, I've always, in terms of self-care, been really good at the manicure, pedicure every month. You know, buy something for yourself to treat yourself every now and again. But I'll share something. When I got into my 50s, I learned that I was ADHD and that it probably had always been there. And so I had to think about, why is it that I was able to move through life and be successful, an athlete, you know, I'm a PhD and all of these things, but I think there was something in me that was able to click in that's why I was an athlete, because it was a way of my childhood mind finding a way to do something that kept me focused. You know, when you're an athlete through school and college, you know you have to show up for practice. You know you have to set goals if you want to be one of the best. And so that kept me focused so that I could do, you know, my house, you had just chores. Like, you could play sports.
Right.
But when mama get home, certain things still need to be done. And as you get older, and the reading shows that as you get older, it'll surface a different way. And so therefore, that's like my ongoing struggle, and that I know that's my ongoing struggle. And so self-care still includes those wonderful things, manicures, pedicures, a massage, but also self-care requires me to really be kind to myself. And that kindness is positive self-talk all the time. Or those days when I have a bad focus day, to still come in and say, that was yesterday, today is a new day. And it's also why I realized that I needed a trainer. Because those 2 days that I am with Dee, they also allow me to be focused. I know I have to do what I have to do so that I can be there. It's part of my commitment to myself. It's also my commitment to Dee, because she gives me so much when I'm in that space, you know. And I want to say, patience is one thing that I have, and so I've always been patient, a very patient person, patient child. And patience with your trainer will give you this treat. And this is this treat. I came to her saying I wanted to feel better and I wanted to be stronger because, you know, with time and menopause and stuff, I had lost strength. And that's what I said. But going in and taking it day by day and trusting her, trusting that she can see what I need. And then all of a sudden, every so many months, there's this treat that you look in the mirror and you're like, that didn't look like that last year.
Right.
You know,
That's right.
You know, you take a picture and you're like, is that me? You know,
Right.
or I dropped an entire size, and I'm still not convinced that I have totally dropped an entire size because I bought like these wonderful leather bands, y'all. I couldn't leave them in the store. They were right price, y'all.
I had to show her a picture from what?
Yeah, she had to show me
2 years
from
ago?
2 years
It
ago.
was like, oh my God.
God, yeah. I gotta take them back, y'all. I don't wear that size anymore. As nice as those pants are, I need to take them back because I don't wear that size anymore. But that was patience, because if you stick to it, all of these positive things will just come. Patience and consistency.
Yes.
Thank you.
Throw those hearts and those likes.
Indeed.
Yes,
And
yes.
share.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Nope, I was just gonna make a heart.
Okay.
Yes. Alrighty. Rhoda, I'm gonna hand it to you.
All right.
I don't think I'm close enough to it. Okay.
Well, I'm coming from a little different angle for our self-care because, as Dee made a comment about genetics, I was just born with self-care. I started when I was 9.
All right.
I always take care of Rona. Rona's the number one person in her life. Beyond my higher power. I'm following my higher power. So as I've grown and matured over life, because traveling, manis, pedis, shampoos, relax, massage, I've always done all that. But as I matured in life, I realized a level of self-care that I wanted to be a part of my life permanently was having a life coach. And so that's one of my most important aspects of my self-care is why I came back to Dee. Because I have discipline. I work out by myself all the time. But I wanted more.
Yes.
In my level of self-care. And when I work out with Dee, she gives me a program for the day that I wouldn't have thought of. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm going to give her something a little bit more challenging, take it to another level, but at the same time, of course, the safe level. So the self-care with Dee is it's my added and my mature level of self-care outside of all the other things that I've done for myself. So that really is the addition to my self-care because, like I said, I don't really struggle with all the other aspects of self-care. And if everyone knows me, you know I do not struggle with self-care. but again, the life coach thing, this is my self-care. It's sitting next to me. It's what I added to the recipe.
I swapped out the word selfish for the word self-interested. Right?
Oh,
because it's not a judgment.
Yes.
You take an interest in yourself.
Yes.
You understand what it is that you need,
yes.
and you go out and
you go
Yes,
get
it
it.
does.
That's right.
Yes.
And even though I feel like I do this, that, and the other, she could just give me so much more.
Yes.
No
And
question.
it just gives me, I'm like, wow, okay. Here we go. I got more
And she
self-care.
makes you do things you never knew you could do.
Exactly.
It's like, it's unbelievable what you get out of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
She pays such good attention. You know, I like to work out in tights, long tights. When it gets hot, I'll wear, something to my knees. The other day, she's like, you're going to stop coming in here in those long black tights. And I'm like, I don't really like to wear short tights. She said, no. And I had just thought about that, too. I'm like,
Take all the
and
clothes
she
off.
just came in. She said, you need to take off some of those clothes when you come in here. And now every time I go to train, I'm like, okay, where are the looking. And I'm just thinking, and in my mind, like, what is it that she's seeing? And so I'm just going to trust it. I'm not, I'm going to trust it because that's not like you're going to stop wearing those long tights in here.
Now let's make it real though, right? I mean, there are many, many days. I know, Griselda, you have those too, where you're like, oh my God, I cannot do one more thing today, right? And you gotta give yourself that nudge, and you gotta
Absolutely.
right. And so my trick for this is I'm gonna go, and after 10 minutes, I just don't have the energy. I'm gonna just tell her I don't have the energy, and guess what? That's never happened.
It never happens.
It never happened.
Yeah.
So just like getting there is the battle,
Yes,
right?
it's the battle.
And so, but man, that is an ongoing struggle.
You just have to talk yourself.
I like
talk
yeah.
yourself out of
You
it.
gotta
You
get
just-
there. It's the getting there.
It's
Yes.
getting there.
You just
Yeah.
need to give yourself that 2-minute talk. I'm tired, but you know what?
Yeah.
You shouldn't even say you can't do another thing.
Yeah.
You just, I'm going, even dragging.
Yeah.
Dee says she's never seen me tired.
Yes.
She doesn't know what tired is with me. Tired with me means I'm 65 miles per hour versus 95. versus 100.
That's your driving too, right?
Yeah. So, but there are times, and I never say I'm so tired I don't want to go. I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to work out a little faster so it'll be over a little bit. I never say I don't want to go. I'm just going to say, I'm going to do my reps a little faster so I can get it over with. So I never say I don't want to go, because that is a struggle. If you got, I can't do another thing. So try to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Just don't say I just can't do another thing.
And let me tell you, I have never regretted going.
No,
Yes.
I have
no.
only regretted not going.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Like,
yes,
Yeah.
I
but-
agree.
so,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she talked about leadership too, so be careful in choosing your leader,
yeah.
right? You need the right leader.
That's true.
The right leader. I will say, whenever I walk in that gym, she opens the door with a smile. She has never, ever not smiled. She, as soon as you walk in, she's smiling. And I think like good things attract good things, because not only when you walk through the door, you have her smile, you just always walk in, there's these wonderful other people sometimes when,
Right.
we sort of overlap each other. And I just say beautiful people attract beautiful people, because the other people in there make you smile, and you feel like, she seems, I think she is always excited to see you walk through the door. And Dee, I definitely so much appreciate it, because I'm in my car, getting out my car, and you smile. And so whatever I was thinking about before I got here, if it was a rough day, right away I'm in a better place. So
Awesome.
I thank you for that.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
And that's genetics, because everybody doesn't have that smile.
That's right.
You know how she's talking about genetics? I wouldn't look good smiling like her every day. Like they would be like, "What's wrong with her?"
But she smiles.
Exactly.
Smiles all
There
the
is a
time.
phrase. There's a phrase. If you smile, people are always wondering.
Yes.
When you frown, they know. So they're always wondering about Dee, because she's always smiling.
And even through your own toughest times. Right?
Yes.
Y'all, she showed up the day that she hurt her ankle.
Yes, she did.
She showed up
Yes,
to do the work. It was Valentine's Day.
Yes,
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And she was still smiling.
Yes.
It was unbelievable.
And
Yeah.
Dee, what in the world?
Yeah.
I was like, come on, don't worry about
I
it.
saw you that day too.
I'll just sit right over here. You're going to do this.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And
Crunch
smiling.
it out. Crunch and cash.
Yes.
Let's go. Don't even worry about
That's
it.
right.
We'll talk about it later.
Yes.
We'll talk about it later, okay? But yes, because I feel like, smiling just brings joy, right? And especially it makes you feel good, and then it makes others smile, because they be like, "What are you smiling about?" And you start, so because I know, people go through. Like I said, we said before, we all, deal with things, and now my self-care, and I think this is a great way to bring this home. I know you all have seen the movie The Green Mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my, I would say one of my top 5 movies. So all the actors are awesome, right?
Agree.
In The Green Mile, my guy Coffee, what's his real name? The actor that played John. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gosh, what's
You know
his
what?
real
Here, I'll
name?
look him up.
Somebody come on with me.
She's gonna
Yep.
look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't want to say the wrong name. But his name was, his last name
Michael
was
Clark.
Michael Clark. He played the character in the Green Mile. And he had the powers to heal. I think that was.
Yeah.
He had the powers to heal. And he took so much in, right? And so he helped. They wanted him to the guy that played Tom Hanks' his wife was had cancer, and Tom Hanks figured out that he had these powers to heal, and so they took him to his wife, and he took in that cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took that away from her body, and he had done that several times, to the point where he took in so much he was exhausted. He was tired, and he says, "I can't do no more, boss." And he was so tired. And that brings me to my self-care, because I take in a lot throughout the years of working with people. People go through. And so I'm not only just a coach, I see myself also somewhat as a therapist. I've had, clients tell me that. because people go through and they can confide in me, because they know it stays with us. And I take in all of that.
Wow.
Because what you guys see, you think a trainer is going to bring you in, put you through a workout, and that's it. No, it goes beyond that. So I take in a lot, because I care for people. I care, So for my self-care, I have to rest my mind. And for me, that is, my self-care is to be able to get into my place of peace, my home. And I sit and I might watch like a funny movie, or, a movie that relaxes me, and I mentally relax. I might get a crossword puzzle, anything that mentally just relaxes me. That's what I do for my self-care. I'll tell you another thing that I start watching maybe about 6 years ago was golf. Golf is calming. Like a lot of people say it's a boring sport, but it's really not. If you got to learn it. But it's calming. It's quiet. So the only time you hear the noise is when they start getting down to the end and they start really, really cheering, for when they make the shot. But other than that, that calms me mentally. So that re-energizes me, right? When I calm my mind over the weekend, because I have so much going on. I have to know this schedule, this person's schedule. I got to know this person's schedule. I said, tell y'all, send me the schedule that you're going to be out of town so I can know. And then I got my insurance. So I got to know, my people call me and they ask me about, policies that they might have. So I got to do that. And then, so on top of all that, then I have to create content. So I gotta know what exercise I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna wear, all this stuff. So it's a lot of stuff going on up here. So for me, self-care is just relaxing myself mentally. So anything that might relax me mentally, that's my self-care. Watching, funny movies, or movies that are old-time movies. I love classics. I love classics, right? And so that's what I do. Of course, we go get our hair done, and I love that. I love to go see my stylist and just sit there and just relax, or pedicure, manicure. Those are your basics,
right?
So pedicure, manicure. We all love those. But for me, self-care, I have to relax myself mentally, and because I take so much in. And I'd say, and I love it because I'm there for people, mentally and physically. And so that's why I think that. And then, once I do that for myself and mentally relax, and take that time to myself, that re-energizes me for the next week.
Nice. Replenishment.
And that's where that energy comes from. So that's when you guys see, oh man, you have this energy. Because that's where it comes from, because I know what I have to do to re-energize myself. I have to relax myself mentally and just calm down. Because I get excited, right?
Yes.
I get overexcited.
Yes, you do.
I go over above and beyond. So that's what I do for myself, and I just mentally relax. Sometimes just, I go for a walk, Of course, my workouts are self-care. That's top. My workouts are a release for me. My workouts when I go outside and walk and just look at the beauty of nature. That's all of that is a part of my self-care. Just taking care of me so that I can take care of others. And we're there. So we've done an hour. And I want to close on, and I'm gonna let my ladies, say something if they want to say something before we close. But I think we kind of hit with self-care. When you incorporate self-care, you reduce stress, anxiety, you improve your mood. Your overall mood is improved. And I think that's important. You increase your productivity, you work better, you improve your relationships with others. If you have, something that you might disagree with somebody on, you can go back and say, you know what, I thought about that. I might have said that wrong. You know, I apologize.
True.
You know, I was going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's okay to have, to agree to disagree. Or maybe you guys misunderstood each other. And I think that when you take care of yourself, it just puts you in a better mood to sit back and say, you know what, maybe I said that wrong. Let me go back, you know, and apologize. And let me go back and talk to this person about this so I can clear the air. And I think self-care is such, important for that. I think that's crucial. It's crucial for the maintenance of, healthy work-life balance.
Right.
You know, it's crucial for that, for work-life balance, to take care of yourself, because you're around other people, the day-to-day basis, whether you work at home or not. Eventually, you're going to go out and be around other people. Just take care, pay attention to your physical, health. Make sure you get enough sleep. That's another thing, because if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be moody. So I think that's a part of self-care as well, resting your body. Like I just said, resting mentally, physically, get at least 6 to 8 hours, I would say. Be a healthy eater, make sure you take in your healthy foods majority of the time. Make sure you get that in, because nutrition is very important. Identify the things that matter to you, always display gratitude and appreciation. You might see me say thank you to, my people who follow me and support my page. Thank you so much. I say that every day. Thank you, because you could do something else with your time.
Yes.
But you choose to come over here and watch Dee and support Dee, and I thank you guys so much every day for that. You know what I'm saying? Don't take that for granted. And anytime somebody put their time out to support you, that you got to be thankful and appreciative of that. And then I want to one more thing too. Sometimes you got to learn how to say no. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Learn how to say no, because sometimes, if people ask me, they be, I always get the thing. I'm a homebody, right? And the people are like, "Do you got to get out? You got to get out?" I know, I'm doing better. But sometimes, I might have to say no, because I know how my week has been.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to drain myself even more.
Right.
So I might have to say no. I won't be able to make it this time. But I try to show up, when I can. But sometimes, especially some people just always invited places. And they haven't really just taken that time for them. So it's okay. Learn how to say no. Try not to do the last minute no. But to tell people, because I don't like to do last minute no. If I do last minute, it bothers me the last minute.
Of course.
It happens, you know what I'm saying? But learn how to say no, because some people just always say, yeah, I'll be there. And they burn themselves out. And that burnout can just lead to that moodiness and, and not being able to just take care of yourself. And just taking that time out for you. It's okay to take time out for you. It's okay. Prioritize self-care. It improves your overall well-being. You live a healthier lifestyle, and you're able to cope, with daily life demands. I think you're able to cope with them a whole lot better. Self-care should be incorporated in everybody's life. So take this question with you. What do you do for your self-care? And I think if you incorporate that self-care into your life, then the struggle with your health and fitness goals will diminish.
Yes.
I wish you all the best. I wish you the best, and I hope you continuously, take care of you, and just live that life, and don't be so hard on yourself. Take it day by day, and just, enjoy life, enjoy taking care of you.
And keep following Dee, because that will get you to the next level of self-care.
Indeed.
She had her reels, share them, like them with others. If you're having a hard time getting started, she's a great jump start for you to help you get to that level where self-care is a commitment.
Yes.
And your self-care is not necessarily someone else's self-care.
Yes.
But you definitely need someone to get you, or something to get you jump started, and this is a great example.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We only got this one life.
That's
and
right.
this one body.
That's
Gotta
right.
take care of it.
That's right.
That's right.
Gotta take care. We get
That's
this
right.
one body. We get this one time. Take care of you.
That's right.
You're beautiful. You know, to my guys, you're handsome. You know what I'm saying? You know, you are unique. You know, you're not anybody else. You're unique. You know, and you embrace that uniqueness. Correct?
Indeed.
Yes, and be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah, give yourself
Yes.
grace. Be kind to
That's
yourself
right.
and give yourself grace.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to start on Mondays. Restart the very next day.
We start the very
next day.
Right? We go ahead and get started. Okay?
So there's not, yes.
Right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
guys.
great
It
month.
was
See you
great.
next
Yes.
month.
Self-care, shares,
Self-care.
like,
Yes.
don't forget.
And thank you for going into the details with us.
Awesome.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you guys so
Bye-bye.
much.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace.